Welcome back to Derek's Zoo Videos, where we finally truly left the Midwest and made it down south to the Memphis Zoo. So what makes this zoo so special that I was willing to drive 10 hours both ways to see it? Well, for starters, it's one of 3 places in the US where you can see a giant panda. There's an impressive collection of felines and primates, as well as a host of unique smaller species that dwell in the animals of the night. And of course, there's the amazing theming throughout the zoo, from the Egyptian-themed entrance to the glazed roof tiles of the Chinese courtyard. Today's episode is for all the cat lovers out there, as we'll be walking through cat country, where we'll come across 9 kinds of felines from 4 continents of both the large and small variety. But fair warning, not everything exhibited in cat country is a cat. According to the zoo's website, this 4-acre complex was planned for over 50 years, with the goal of providing multi-level, open-air viewing of felines using thin wire and moats. It opened in 1993, and almost 30 years later, it has stood the test of time reasonably well, and certainly still accomplishes those goals it was meant to achieve. Located off to the left of the zoo's main entrance plaza, Cat Country continues the Egyptian theming, paying homage to the ancient Egyptians who believed that cats were magical creatures that brought good luck. Under the archway, off to the right, you're brought right away to one of the complex's star species, the African lion, where their male Thabut was waiting to give me a warm welcome to Memphis.
What is it doing?
We'll catch up with the zoo's pride later on, so for now, moving across the path is a much less well-known African feline, the Caracal. Distinguished by the long black tufts on their ears, Caracals are famously known to jump up to 10 feet into the air to catch birds in flight. They are also capable of taking down prey that is larger than they are, like smaller antelope. Their habitat here can be viewed from 2 vantage points, from the front and from a side path around to the right. Continuing down the side path, it dead ends at a window that looks into a much larger habitat themed with temple ruins. Back on the main trail, the pathway changes to a boardwalk where, on the right, you can see an Amur Leopard, who was once again proving that all cats love boxes. This critically endangered feline is indigenous to the forest of Russia and China, with less than 100 individuals left in the wild. This is Sputnik, a 5-year-old male who came from the Greenville Zoo in 2018. Earlier this year, the Memphis Zoo welcomed a female Amur leopard named Kira, who came from the Twycross Zoo in England, a rare instance of a zoo animal traveling overseas to a new home. The leader of the AZA's Amur Leopard Species Survival Plan stated that her move signified the global dedication to preserving this endangered big cat. Appearing almost as a continuation of the leopard exhibit, we're moving from the highlands of Asia to the Rocky Mountains of North America to see mountain lion brothers Mac and Cap, who were part of a litter of 4. Their mother gave birth in someone's backyard, so the U.S. Fish and Wildlife tried to relocate the new family, but unfortunately the mother abandoned the cubs. All 4 were brought to the Memphis Zoo, although it seems that the other 2 cubs have moved on to new homes. The name mountain lion came from early Spanish explorers who referred to the cats as Gato Monte, or simply Leon, which was eventually combined to be mountain lion. Across from these 2 habitats is a more complete view of the exhibit we saw earlier through the window. This, of course, is the realm of the Sumatran Tiger. Another critically endangered species, there's less than 250 Sumatran tigers left in the wild. This is Dari, a 7-year-old female who came from the Phoenix Zoo to be paired with a young male named Gusti, as part of the Sumatran Tiger Species Survival Plan. We next come across our first non-cat species, one who we've seen before on several other tours, the always adorable red panda. Red pandas debuted in Memphis along with the opening of Cat Country in 1994. While I only saw one panda on my visit, this exhibit is home to breeding pair Mars and Lucille. Did you know that red pandas were actually recorded by scientists before giant pandas and were the first species to be called a panda? From here, the boardwalk takes you under a covered bridge where you can read up on the history of cats in Memphis, before entering into a dark cave where you'll find a window that looks into the mountain lion exhibit. Opposite is a second window that offers a first teasing look into the home for their jaguars. A male named Diego and a female named Filomena rotate with Arizona, seen here, who came from the San Antonio Zoo earlier this year, and clearly have places to be, so we'll be moving on to the habitat across the path, where you'll see the Snow Leopard, the ghost of the mountain. These mysterious masters of camouflage roam throughout the mountainous areas of Central Asia. This is a Terry, a 12-year-old female who lives with her mate Darhan. Despite snow leopards usually being solitary creatures, the zoo reports that these two are more social and enjoy each other's company. Let's see who a Terry was watching through the fence. In the adjacent yard lives the Capybara from South America, who are included in cat country to represent a prey species for the nearby jaguars. They also live with a crested screamer who is hanging out towards the back. Our next feline is one of the complex's few small cats. They were a no-show on my first walkthrough, but when I returned later in the day, I was able to see the fishing cat. The fishing cat's elongated head, partially webbed feet, and waterproof fur are all adaptations for their semi-aquatic lifestyle, helping them dive and hunt for fish. In addition to fish, fishing cats will feed on rodents, shellfish, lizards, and amphibians. Sightings of wild fishing cats are rare and usually by camera trap, so their entire range is unknown, but they can be found throughout Southeast Asia from Pakistan and the Himalayan foothills down through Sri Lanka and Thailand. Down the path is another smaller species, but this one is not a cat. In here you'll see a family of bat-eared foxes. Parents Raj and Helen and their, at the time of my visit, 3-month-old kits Norman, Ripley, and Clarice. Bat-eared foxes get their name from their huge bat-like ears. With their superb hearing, they can detect tasty insects moving underneath the ground. Just like they do here at the zoo, wild bat-eared foxes live in pairs along with their offspring. However, they are not territorial, and the home ranges of different pairs may overlap. In fact, over 70 bat-eared foxes were reported living in just a single square mile. Moving around the bend, we come to an open-fronted habitat where I wasn't able to capture much of the world's fastest land animal. But that's okay, because there'll be plenty of cheetah facts in the next episode. Opposite the cheetahs is a mob of meerkats, who I can only assume were included in cat country because of their name, or maybe because they're just plain adorable, since they would not typically be a prey species for the cheetahs or the African lion. Our final stop was also our first. We've come full circle and have reached the front side of the lion's habitat, where I captured some of the most adorable lion footage you're ever gonna see. In addition to Thabu, the zoo has 2 females, sisters Akila and Jamela. Lions have a long history in Memphis, with the zoo's first lion, Dwyer, arriving not long after the zoo's opening in 1906. He was acquired from a passing circus after the circus train wrecked, and lived at the zoo until his passing in 1913. Before Cat Country opened, the lions lived in the Carnivora building along with the rest of the zoo's big cats. Today, that building is the zoo's main restaurant called the Cat House Cafe. As they were showing off on my visit, unlike most felines, lions are very social, living in prides of up to 3 males and a group of usually related females and their offspring, which may total as many as 30 members. And that wraps up our first tour at what is often considered to be one of America's top zoos. Let me know what you thought in the comments below and answer this video's question of the day. What is your favorite big cat? The next exhibit tour will be something special.